Good evening, everyone. Ooh, loud. Everyone can hear me tonight. Welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Calimesa Council. Today is Monday, October 20th. We're starting at 6 p.m. And we have some speaker comments here, but let's start with our roll call, please.
Councilmember Cundiff,
Here.
Councilmember Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Manley,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Cervantes,
Here.
and Mayor Molina.
Thank you. And for the record, let us show that our City Manager Colbo is here, our City Attorney Flowers here, Deputy City Clerk Benson is here, and Finance Director Reed is here, Planning Director Lucia, Public Works Director Shakir, City Engineer Thornton, Fire Deputy Chief Shaw, and we have nobody representing Sheriff tonight. Mike Barron, would you like to lead us in the pledge? Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mike. And it's nice to see people in our audience. We love that. Thank you all for coming tonight. Okay, so we have some speakers slips here. Do we have another one? Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's hear from Elizabeth. Would you step forward, please?
Good evening. I hope y'all are doing well. I thank you for this opportunity to speak with you this evening. I'm sure you already know what topic I'm here to speak about. It's a never-ending diatribe, I'm sure. Saw the podcast, heard a lot about how the owners of mobile home parks need to be able to make a fair market value, and they need to be able to have a good return on their investment. And I agree, absolutely agree. I think every business should be solvent and should be making money, and I think that's wonderful, but not off the back of seniors. And that's what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. The man makes a fair market value already on his return of rent. He is pretty much guaranteed an increase under the rent control every single year. He is supposed to have an operating budget and a maintenance budget that our rents go into for the very purposes of the things he's trying to get paid for, which he did not pay for initially. And if you work the numbers, by the time his amortization is done, the man is going to end up making over 300 times the principal that he laid out, that he's trying to collect on. That's not fair. It's a huge burden on seniors. We are not going to be able to afford, forget about a rent, utilities, insurances, food, medications, medical coverage, anything. We're not going to be able to afford that, okay? And it's very real. This is not a scare tactic. It's very real, a very real concern. And if, like me, you're faced with a cancer diagnosis, you're faced with diabetes, you're faced with other things that you had not put in your budget for, get treated for cancer or lose my home, okay? It's a very real decision to be made. And I need y'all to please be aware of that. Put yourselves in our shoes. Please put yourselves in our shoes. Also, it has been raised, questions have been asked. I just want you to be aware that the timing of him putting in to get paid for all of these and the timing of this board to look at the control board not being filled, changing the ordinance and everything else, all of this seems to be coincidentally around the same time. I don't believe in coincidence. It's a little suspect, a little conspicuous. And a lot of people are thinking along those lines, and you need to be aware. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Mr. Reeves.
My name is Howard Reeves. I live at 1017 Douglas Street, Calimesa. Madam Mayor, council members, and city staff. Before everybody tonight, I gave a flyer. It says Team Ambassador. As you know, we're starting a new youth baseball, softball program for Calimesa, and we're trying to get it up and going. We're 4 weeks away from starting signups on November the 15th. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do and encourage all the leagues that I dealt with to do is every team should have an ambassador. And that way they have somebody that they feel cares about them and looks after them. And if they have a question, the ambassador knows how to get a hold of the league officials easily and quickly, and we usually answer the ambassador's phone. And so for $200 donation, because obviously we're trying to raise funds, you become a team ambassador. What you get with that, your name is going to be before the team name on the playing schedule. You're going to be on the website, and you're also going to get a badge that'll say, for example, City of Calimesa, Jeff Cervantes, City Council. That'll be on your badge, and you can go on the field and mingle with the fans and the players and the coaches. And I know everybody in the city wants to have a good relationship with your voting public to where it would be a good opportunity, and it helps the league raise funds. And we give you a badge, so when you go on the field, they know exactly who you are, and you can be there to represent as a team ambassador. So this is what I'm handed to everybody tonight. If anybody's interested, if you're not, if you know anybody that is, all the information you need is on that paper. And we're hoping to get this thing up and going for the spring of 2026. Opening day will be on March the 7th, which is a Saturday. And of course, time changes that night. So Monday we'll be playing games because there's no lights. So when it gets dark, we go home. And so the games will start at 5 or 5:30 on Monday following, which will be the 9th of March. And that's when everybody starts as daylight savings time kicks in. Thank you for your time, and good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Howard. We
Okay.
appreciate your time. Donna Johnson?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Donna Johnson. I live in the Californian, and I would like to give a big hand to the fire department for saving our park, for saving one of our units, and ultimately saving our park. And I got to see the new truck also. I'm very, very grateful to our fire department. They did a great job. I want to thank them immensely. I would give them a big hand if I could. Okay, my second issue is that I'm asking you to amend the ordinance 410. I'm respectfully asking you to do that. Please take out park owners have a right to a fair return. The language unfairly tilts the ordinance toward park owners while leaving residents, particularly seniors and disabled individuals and those on fixed incomes, without protection. MRL and state president already provide adequate safeguards to ensure owners can maintain reasonable profitability. Including this clause at the local level creates unnecessary redundancy. It invites abuse and is routinely cited by park owners as justification for rent increase and pass-through charges that destabilize our community. The council has a duty to balance the rights of both owners and residents. Removing the fair return clause would restore that balance and protect vulnerable residents from being priced out of their homes. And I urge you, please put it on the agenda. Please discuss it. Please take it out. Don't stack the deck against us, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Next speaker is Edison Mejia. I'd like to come and shake his hand. Hold on a second.
Hi there, my name is Eddie Mejia. This is my son, Edison Mejia. So I was at the meeting here the last time that we came up. So typically what we're teaching our son is anytime we bring any kind of issues to the table, we should try to bring solutions. He reminded me after seeing the video that I didn't give any actual solutions. I just came and pointed out an issue. So he actually had some ideas of what we can do to make Monty's Montessori, his school that he goes to, a little bit safer because as you guys have seen, I'm sure you've experienced before when passing the school right off Singleton on the freeway, people just blow by those speed signs. They don't slow down. There's one sign that says 40 miles per hour. Immediately by the school signs, one of the school signs was put back up, so we really appreciate that. And the speedometer that was there for about 2 weeks. And it helped a little, but people are still driving by really fast. So he actually had some ideas of items that could be helpful to possibly reduce the flow of traffic and have people slow down a little bit. So, okay, so the first one is, here we go. Which one is this?
Edison, it's okay. Whisper into Dad's ear.
Sorry, 1 second.
Hey, Edison, I got a question for you, buddy. What grade are you in right now?
What grade are you in? Come on. Which grade are you in? You can whisper to me and I say. He's in kindergarten.
Kindergarten, nice. My little one is in TK right now. And then I have a first grader. His name is Luke. You might know Eli. He was there at Monty's. Do you know anybody by the name of Eli?
Do you know Eli? Come on, Edison, come on. Okay, come on.
Mayor, if you can extend time, because I know. Yeah.
So, Edison, can you tell me which the first idea is?
Speed bump.
A speed bump.
Okay.
The second idea that Edison had was to put
A radar speed sign.
a radar speed sign, so to help people identify that they're going a little too fast. Also, a sign that says
They're dying too fast.
that they'll get a ticket if they go too fast. And the last one is to put
Appropriate speed sign.
so people can identify that. So we are hoping to have something a little more permanent in terms of that. Even with the speedometer that was there, we had a couple of close calls. My family, my wife and I didn't have any close calls, which is great, but we did have some text messages from other students' parents who said that while they were coming out, people are swinging by so fast. And the thing is that they even honk at you, as I mentioned in the last meeting, when they're passing by. If you're going a little bit slower, they tailgate you, and it's just like, it's really not safe. I mean, I don't know the data of any accidents in the area, but I imagine that there might have been some or a lot of close calls. So we're just really hoping to have something a little more permanent to have the school be a little bit safer overall.
Thank you.
Thank you, Edison, for coming forward. Yes, so, Mr. Mejia, I wrote down every recommendation that Edison made, and we will pass it on to our city staff to take a look at those. And we appreciate you coming tonight and bringing him. Very brave.
Mayor, if I may add too,
Yes.
the speed trailer that we put out there also actually logs all the speeds that are out there. So I'll work with Public Works to take a look at that data as well. We do pass that data also on to the Sheriff's Department. So wherever we do these targeted, speed checks, it's recording all that data. Then we provide that data to the sheriff's department so they can do targeted enforcement. So we have that data available as well.
Thank you. And we all know if anybody drives through there regularly, it's the alternative to the freeway, and they're speeding to get from one, on-ramp to the next. And so we know that area very well. Thank you. We appreciate you coming forward, all of you tonight. Okay, so next on the agenda is to approve the agenda, consent calendar, and waiver of full reading of ordinances. Do my colleagues have any items they want to remove from the consent calendar before we move for an approval or a motion?
No, Madam Mayor. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda, consent calendar, and full reading of ordinances.
Second.
Thank you very much. Any opposed? That means we approve 5-0. Thank you so much. That brings us,
Madam Mayor, if I
Sorry,
may,
yes.
just item 5 on the consent calendar for, to read the title of the ordinance being approved. That would be second reading by title only, adopting the ordinance 410, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Calimesa, California, amending sections 9.05030, 9.05040, 9.05050, 9.05090, 9.05100, 9.05110. I'm just going to read 120, 140, and 180 of the Calimesa Municipal Code related to the mobile home park rent stabilization program pertaining to implementation of a hearing officer process and to repeal the mobile home rent stabilization board. Thank you.
thank you for that. Okay, that was very good. Okay, this takes us to I don't know that we have a Calimesa Chamber report tonight. I don't think anybody was here for tonight for that. So we'll go on to item number 10, our business item, consideration of authorization to issue request for proposals, RFP, for design and installation of video surveillance system at Summerwind Park.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Before the council tonight is consideration of authorizing staff to issue an RFP for the design and installation of a video surveillance system at Summerwind Park, as the mayor noted. As you recall, this issue came up during the May 19th budget workshop when a resident expressed concern that Summerwind Park does not currently have cameras while 4th Street Park does. Staff explained that the 4th Street Park cameras were installed several years ago and used outdated technology, and that Summerwind has experienced about $15,000 in vandalism-related repairs since opening, most of those related to repairing the light bollards. The attached RFP is designed to evaluate current technology options, costs, and potential for a broader standardized security system that could be expanded to other city facilities. It includes requirements for cloud-based storage, cybersecurity safeguards, and compatibility with law enforcement, as well as optional services like system maintenance or access control and integration. So there's no immediate fiscal impact at this stage. If council authorizes the issuance of the RFP, we will go through that process and return with the recommended contract and budget appropriation once proposals are received. Also, if the council has any suggestions for system requirements or vetting of the RFP or the proposals, we could incorporate such requirements into the final RFP and our consideration process. That concludes my report. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Start at the end.
City Manager Will, I don't know why I called you City Manager. Will, as it pertains to the video, discussing whether or not our law enforcement has access to that, is that something we would do at a later time, or is that something we would talk about now, or?
We can certainly talk about that now, but I think that, to me, that would be part of the vetting process, right? So as far as integration, one of the things that I had envisioned was engaging Captain Northrup in that conversation and having him, based on his own knowledge, or reaching out to other stations to see what other solutions other cities are using that they currently have access to. That certainly would be helpful. So I fully plan on having Captain Northrup be an integral part of that evaluation process.
Perfect, thank you. That's the only question I had.
And welcome, Captain Northrup. John, comments?
Yeah, I don't have any questions, but I'll just start with dive into some comments. This is kind of a topic we've discussed at other ad hoc meetings and things. So just my general thought after kind of digging through this particular issue is moving forward. I'd like to move forward with the proposals and send those out and see what kind of technology. We've looked at it kind of individually and see what might work that we've discussed in other meetings, but to go out and get actual proposal to see what is the true cost going to be, what kind of options are out there, and then be able to vet all of this technology and see what's going to work for us and what that's going to cost us. But I think what I'd like to do is one, look at the flock stuff. So we have our license plate reading cameras already, and then just recently the HOA at Summerwind on their own went and got flock cameras. I don't have the exact numbers that they just went and purchased, but I think they have possibly license plate readers or just actually surveillance cameras as well. So flock has both those. So the sheriff's department is already using those systems. So I'm interested in integrating all that together, so where the sheriff's department has access to that. If the HOA has their own cameras, everything would be integrated together. So that's of great interest to me to be able to do that, and what would that cost be, so everything works fluidly together. And then also building something at this park that we can use moving forward. So identify what we need, get it set up there at this park, and then use that as a model for future parks, or as new facilities come online, we can tie into those systems. So to get all the work out front, see what we need, and that way we can have a kind of a map for the future. To add to that, what I'd like to do, if we have consensus from the council, is after we send out for this proposal, is kick that to our sheriff's ad hoc committee. So Councilmember Cundiff and I can kind of vet all of these systems, since we have experience in using them in their practical applications. And then we can also work with Captain Northrop in that committee, and then see as far as the sheriff's department policy, and use their knowledge with these systems and work through that together. And then just take some of that load off from the council, and we can kind of bring that back after we vet all these different systems with some other ideas and recommendations at a later time.
Thank you very much. Jeff?
I think Councilmember Manley's comments make a lot of sense. I was unaware that Flock can do park surveillance, but if they can, yeah, I would certainly like to look into that option as well. What I'd like to see too is, if we're going to do an RFP for Summerwind Park, it just, to me, it makes sense to roll into the RFP surveillance to upgrade the technology at the 4th Street Park, Mountain View Park. We're going to have a brand new park come online here next year, later this year? Yeah, later this year, and it just makes sense to me that we safeguard that investment in the community and have the same surveillance there that we're going to have at Summerwind. So that would be my suggestion.
Thank you, Jeff. Edgar?
Yes, this is actually one of the topics that me and Will have been kind of talking basis on moving the city forward. I know I spoke over about this a few times during our council meetings. And just like what Melanie said, and the rest of you guys as well too, just with the safety of our officers and our residents here in our community, not only at the parks, but citywide. One of the things I did recommend is starting at Summerwind, just because we do have the budget right now over there, and then based on the cameras that we extend from there all the way to City Hall, because some of them do have badge access, and they're able to track the blueprints and back forward, and depending where certain individuals or certain people go, the cameras are able to pick those things up, especially with AI being included on these softwares. One of the things that I spoke to Will about was that to look into Vocura, if I'm pronouncing that right. Other cities have that implemented already, and their PD actually utilizes that software. A few districts as well too. They have that software, so I seen it on the works. You just type in the individual description or the student description, and as easy as looking for a person with a red backpack, and it extracts that data. And then the more information you put it in the system, it's able to narrow it down, and it's able to backtrack and do a trace of where that person was and all the cameras that that person was actually around. So it's a pretty cool system, especially when AI is already integrated in the system. And school districts are utilizing it. Our neighboring cities, I believe Palm Springs is one of them. And, but I'll leave it up to our expertise, our city manager will, because I know he's more familiar with the systems, and our captain as well too. That's all, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, my only comment is one of our other parks, Creekside Park, which not many people even know about that little park. But I think the information, I think it's worthwhile for us to look into doing an RFP just to see, like everyone has said, what is out there, what can we afford, what would work best for us, because we're now, developing in the very near future, and this is going to affect all of the safety for the whole city. So I think the consensus is that to move forward with the RFP, if what I'm hearing is what you're hearing.
Yes, my only question is on in integrating Mountain View / 4th Street Park into this. There is concern about budget, so we'd have to have direction on where that budget would come from. For Summerwind, we have the maintenance CFD, and depending on how that's structured, we could do that. We've actually asked our bond counsel to make sure that that would be an eligible cost, because maintenance CFDs are supposed to be used for maintenance, but one could argue that a surveillance system is a kind of preventative, so it could be classified as preventative maintenance. Did I get that right, Celeste? Yeah, okay. So that's kind of the philosophy there. And the other challenge we have with Mountain View at the moment is it's still under construction. So it would be, they might be able to do a site walk, because we want to have all prospective bidders do a site walk before bidding, so that they understand what they're bidding on, the layout of the park and things like that. So, we certainly could do that. My recommendation might be to budget money for Summerwind, or for Mountain View for the 26-27 budget process. And because part of this is to vet out, get basically a preferred vendor that we could then lean on for future installations, whether it's City Hall or parks, that, Mountain View Park, future parks, future neighborhoods, different facilities as they come online. So, again, the council's direction is to include both. We can include both, but my recommendation would be to do Summerwind Park and then follow it up with Mountain View once it's completed.
I agree with that. Is that good with everybody?
When is Mountain View going to be completed, Will?
It will be, I think we're looking at probably January, correct?
January. And so grand opening.
I'll have Madi address that.
It could be anytime within the next month or two, but I'll probably just say January, just because there's always hiccups that happen, so.
Right. So I think the main idea that I'm hearing from council too is that, and what I'm hearing from you is we want a system that can scale, right? And so it could serve multiple parks, potentially city properties.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to express that to the potential vendors, the potential consultants, because if they know there's opportunity for more work, they're going to sharpen their pencil and be a little more aggressive on their approach with this one.
And when we have an RFP, we might just include, I don't know what council thinks, we can include with a focus on Summerwind, but maybe there'll be some kind of package deal, right? That if you can attack on a park, it's only going to cost X amount of dollars, and it's not substantial. Who knows,
Yeah.
right? And so maybe.
And layout is really important. So how the park's laid out, where electricity is available.
Right.
There's a lot of variables that go into you know, you could say it was a park of X size, but it was an active park versus a passive park. So that's going to impact what that looks like. So it's not necessarily, that's why they have to look at the sites, right? Because each one could be a little bit unique and different as far as the approach. You know, the other thing that can be considered for parks for access control is like bathroom locks, for example. So that's something that we like to vet, is that do they have that ability, what that looks like. There are some very pretty cool technology out there that automatically locks bathrooms, but also has infrared inside the bathrooms so that someone can't just lock themselves in and camp out for the night. There'll be infrared to sense, oh, there's somebody here after hours. Let's contact PD, have someone go take a look. So there's that technology that we can look at as well.
So when staff, when we issue the RFP and the results come in and staff reviews it, and it comes to council, it'll have information about Summerwind specifically, but possibly some future activity for us and some cost factored in?
Yeah, well, maybe not cost, but certainly, well, yeah, I mean, you probably kind of extrapolate costs. You can do we could certainly use that to budget for future needs, absolutely, because we can look at unit costs and build some, you know, natural increases as, you know, inflation, things like that, for scaling that in the future. So we certainly can do that. And part of the vetting process is going to be, you know, I wrote this, you know, purposely kind of thin, because the idea is for these proposers to come forward and tell us what their idea is, what is their, how are they going to approach this. So it doesn't really handcuff them or you know, kind of put them in a box. I want them to show what their technology is and show what differentiates themselves. Because again, we are picking somebody that's going to be servicing it just not only for this, but the future. So we want to make sure that they are robust enough to be able to do that. So that's going to be a part of the evaluation process, I envision.
Okay. I have a question. I'm not sure if it's for you or for Captain Northrup, but from my citizen patrol days, I remember when we were driving through the mobile parks, the senior parks, if you pulled in, your license plate was captured, and when you left, there was another photo taken of the vehicle exiting. Is that still in place? And is that at all the parks?
That is a question for him.
Yes. Would that be, yeah.
So I don't know what each individual park has in place right now.
I kind of remember the Colony and the Californian for sure. I'm not sure about any of the other parks. I'm talking about 10 years ago or longer, when I was on Citizens Patrol. But I remember going in when we were in our vehicle, that it would take a picture of our vehicle, and then when we left.
That could be, if that's the case, they're not feeding that information to the sheriff's department.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. I don't know what to do with that, but I just remembered it right now. So, okay, just something to think about. Thank you.
All right, and thank you. I do have my direction on this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so then that takes us now to mayor and council reporting of county and regional meetings and conferences. So we'll start with Edgar.
Was it last week?
County meetings, regional
Yeah,
conferences.
It was last week, right?
Oh, yeah, Cal Cities was,
Yes.
yeah.
So Cal City, I attended Cal Cities last week. Very informative. I attended a few city managers conferences, very educational, and I learned a lot. What the city does, what a city manager does to, you know, what their teams and everything that they do, from small cities to big cities, what the regulations, the laws, the updated laws, the federal, the state. A lot for them to keep up with all these changes, especially right now that the laws are changing constantly, left to right. And it's just a reminder for just our community of residents that, you know, sometimes a small team it's a mighty team. And this is what we have in Calimesa. We have a strong team, and they do a lot for our, you know, for our city, for our residents. Unfortunately, you know, we are a small city compared to other big cities that they do have a bigger team for different departments as well too. But just to kind of throw it out there, just based on what the city manager and the directors and all the way down to our public works people that they do, you know, they do a lot for our infrastructure, our safety, all the way down for our first responders as well too. One of the other things too that I attended was the the Hispanic League as well too, which was very surprised that they had one too at our league.
The caucus?
Yeah, the caucus ones. Very educational as well too. I ran into a lot of young council members, as young as 18 years old. I was very surprised. It's always positive, especially me working at the educational field, that I always push the kids to go big and start young, and I'm seeing it out there for different cities, and looking forward for something like that to happen here at the city of Calimesa, because every year that passes by, we get older and we want fresh ideas for our community, for our residents, and the world's always changing. So that's one of the biggest things that I do want to see our younger generation to start coming in. Sometimes, today it's a good outcome. We have a lot of our residents here, but I do want to see more of our residents here, especially our young generation as well too. One of the things that I spoke to one of the directors at our Beaumont Unified School District that I want to implement the same thing that we have at Beaumont City, at the city of Beaumont, that they have a council from the high school kids representing the city. And I definitely want to do something similar here for our city of Calimesa, because we have two school districts. We have Calimesa, Yucaipa, and we have Beaumont. So I'm more than willing to share that contact with you guys so we can kind of, prepare our youth to the real world, the workforce, and, have a brighter future for our generation and for us as well too. So that's just one of the things. I know Will had something to say.
Like I just want to clarify, like a youth council? Is
Yeah,
that
like
what
a
you're
youth council.
Okay, I see.
One of the things too, want to bring back to one of the items that they discussed too, if, I'm always looking to support our seniors. One of the things that, it's kind of strong and still fresh from life experience and from my heart is, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. He passed away. I was actually his day caregiver all the way down to his passing. He passed away in front of my arms. So, one of the things that my dad used to say was, always take care of your seniors, because one day you will be in their shoes. And so I do want to advocate and really want to see what we can do for our seniors on rent control and everything. If there's any grants out there that the state is able to support us or county level, to make sure, because they are in a set income, and we need to make sure that we are looking out for our seniors. Because I've been saying this since day one. Some of us might not make it at that age, but the majority of us will make it at that age, and that's what the world will come. We will all be, one time or another, we will be at that age, and we need to have ourselves looking after our seniors and even our kids, our residents, our students. Just because all these laws are changing, I do want to be a big supportive on advocating and making sure that they're able to live comfortable with healthcare, because everything's increasing. So that's just one of the things, well, that if we can look into it to support our residents, with future development or anything like that, just kind of brainstorm, get some fresh ideas.
Got it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Edgar.
thanks.
Jeff?
Thanks, Mayor. So since our 10-6 council meeting, I have not attended any county or regional meetings, but I did go on a very important, though unofficial, visit to our new Wendy's. I had to,
I've not
order
heard
a new
good things. I've
Frosty.
not
I had to
heard
try a
good
few things on the menu just to make sure, and I checked out. It's very good. So,
Yeah, I went the day it opened too.
so that will conclude my report, Mayor.
Thank you. I just want to say, I haven't been there yet, but I've just heard that it hasn't been cleaned since it opened. So not good things. So hopefully the food's good.
It was good.
Okay.
It was
Okay. John?
exceptional.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Did not attend any regional meetings, and that will conclude my report.
Thank you. Eric?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to echo Councilman Cervantes' comments. It was an unofficial
Yeah.
meeting that my wife and I had there Sunday, and it was good. It was just great, and I'm happy that they're open, and it was packed. We had to stand around, wait for seats. So I'm glad that it's something new and something fresh for our community to be able to go to, and they make a good burger, man. For a fast food burger, it's a pretty good burger. So as far as meetings go, on the 14th, I was with you at the San Gregorio Pass Water Agency County Line Recharge Basin and Turnout Project, the groundbreaking ceremony. And so I bring that up just more so for our citizens to understand there's going to be some construction on 4th Street, and that's going to do with a recharge basin. And so there's going to be some work going on there for some time. But once it's done, it's going to be a great thing for our city. It's going to help the communities, not just Calimesa, but also a good portion of the residents in Yucaipa. And there's a lot of agencies that came together between San Bernardino, San Gregorio, South Mesa. A lot of water agencies put their efforts together for that. And so it's good to see agencies working together for the benefit of the citizens in the cities, regardless of which county they're in. So that was a great thing to be at. Another thing that I'll just briefly touch on is the Animal Ad Hoc Committee that Councilmember Cervantes, myself, and City Manager Will is part of. I don't really have anything to report at this time, but I will just say stand by to stand by. We're working on good things for the pass area, and once we have something that we can bring back and share to everyone, we will. So it's getting close. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have just a few things to report on as well. I also attended the Long Beach Annual Conference. There was no resolution. I was just the delegate to vote on items. There were no resolutions, so there was no need to vote. So that was a good thing. It was well attended, and I was going to drive every day. I didn't reserve a hotel because I thought it's close enough, and it's so expensive. And so I ended up staying. I hung out with another councilwoman, and I bunked with her and saved the city some money. But so I was there all 3 days. It was well attended. I saw a lot of activity. We did the best thing I think about the annual conference is the networking with other cities. It's statewide, so you have every city in California that goes to that. And so for 3 years in a row, it was held in Long Beach and not Sacramento, Long Beach alternatively. So it was a great thing for us to attend. It was well worth it. The classes were good too. Also attended a Metrolink audit committee meeting, and most of the discussion there's been a lot of incidents with the trains. You've probably heard on the news, a lot of delays. On the 13th was Columbus Day, and our Lions Club put flags out. You probably noticed flags all between Calimesa and Yucaipa. And the recharge, the get-together that the water agencies that Councilman Cundiff mentioned, it was very apropos. It was raining hard. There was actually a river running through the tent, and everyone thought it was staged and intentional, but it wasn't. But I thought it was really, really kind of cool. But yes, our city is benefiting from the work of these partnerships that we have with our water agencies. They're working together, not apart, and we're the benefactor of this. So this is water that goes in a retention basin. So on wet years, we collect the water for dry years. And I can confidently say that we do not have a water problem. Our agencies are working well together. They communicate with us. They've been to our city council a couple of times to report on that. So just want to assure you that we're in good shape as far as water is concerned. Also attended on the 18th, RTA rodeo. We are in the service area of Riverside Transit Agency. We're looking at them coming forward in the future regarding a new project that might work in our city as far as, since we don't have buses, it's called microtransit. So we're waiting to see when that is going to come forward. There's been a demonstration project in Hemet and San Jacinto on just that. So I'm waiting to see when that's going to come forward to us, and we'll be reporting it to you all. But I got to drive a bus, and I can assure you it didn't hit anything. I don't know how well I did as far as, they give awards for your performance, and they have 3 competitions. One is at the director's level, which is my level, one at maintenance staff, and then actual coach operators who compete. and then they go on to a regional competition in, I think, in January, February. So it was a lot of fun. They provide great food. It's at the Hemet Yard for RTA, and I look forward to that every year. So that's all that I have. I know I know we always have the opportunity to request things for future agenda items. And so two things come to mind for me. One is, again, the Creekside Park. Looking at that to see if we have people going to that and how safe it is. And also flagpoles. I was approached while at the 4th Street Park about flagpoles in the city. And so that's something we should look at for the future on having flagpoles at the parks and what have you. So, but all of that costs money. So it's just something we're just taking note of it, and I would like to bring it forward for a future agenda item. So that's all that I have. And so at this point, it takes us to our city manager comments and reports.
So a couple of things I have. First of all, Councilmember Garcia just reminded me, him and I have had email exchange back and forth late last week regarding pavement markings and lines and faded lines, things like that. So I've talked to Public Works staff, and so we're starting to look into some solutions for that. Couple of upcoming events we've got. Next Tuesday, October 28th, the City of Calimesa, in partnership with Riverside County Animal Control, will be hosting a free spay and neuter clinic here at City Hall. Because this is a mobile clinic, it's for small animals, 20 pounds or smaller. They just only have so much space in that trailer. Information can be found on our homepage, calimesa.gov. Spots are limited, so you can make an appointment at that same link on the website. And this is open to Calimesa residents only, so those that live in the 92320 zip code. Friday, October 31st is our annual trunk or treat. It'll take place at Summerwind Park from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we hope to see everyone there. And a couple of things for our fire department. We did get a letter from a resident. I wanted to read it to you, if you'll indulge me. On October 2nd, my mother experienced severe abdominal pain, and we called 911. Your team responded quickly.
Gremlins.
There we go. Oh, I know. It just connected and it came right back. That's good. Your team responded quickly, demonstrating exceptional professionalism, skill, and compassion. It was clear they worked seamlessly together, and the care they provided to my mom was outstanding. The citizens of Calimesa are fortunate to have a fire chief who is so clearly committed to the well-being of the community. I want to especially thank you for securing the funding to add a paramedic to the crew. When the city ended its contract with Riverside County, initially chose not to include a paramedic, I was genuinely concerned for my parents' safety. I used to half-jokingly tell them to drive across County Line Road in an emergency before calling 911, but thankfully that is no longer necessary. And I will say that wasn't necessary before. We just had it done by AMR. It just wasn't done in-house. So we still had the service. It just wasn't provided by our fire department. So just to be clear. Please extend my sincere appreciation to the entire crew for their excellent service, and thank you again for your leadership and dedication. So please also pass that on to the crew. And we're going to keep it on the fire department. Chief O'Connell has been absent, so he wasn't able to share this. I was waiting for him to return, but unfortunately that hasn't happened yet, so he asked me to pass this along. I'm pleased to share some excellent news about our fire department's performance. Following a comprehensive evaluation by the Insurance Services Office, or ISO, which Chief has talked about, the City of Calimesa has been upgraded to a Class 2 rating in their National Public Protection Classification Program effective November 1st. This rating places Calimesa among the top 4% of fire departments in the nation and reflects the outstanding work of our firefighters, dispatchers, and our partners at South Mesa Water Company and Yucaipa Valley Water District. ISO evaluates communities on their emergency communications, fire department capabilities, and water supply, and this upgrade to a Class 2 recognizes strength in all three areas. What this means for our residents and businesses is tangible. Commercial properties will likely see lower fire insurance and premiums, as insurance companies use these ISO ratings to help set rates. While the impact on residential premiums tend to be smaller, the improvement can still result in modest savings. More importantly, it's a strong indicator to the insurance industry and to potential investors that Calimesa provides an exceptional level of fire protection. This is a tremendous accomplishment for a department our size, and it speaks volumes about the professionalism, training, and commitment of our fire department and its leadership. And I will say, this would have not been possible without the leadership and vision of Chief O'Connell. His commitment to building up our Fire Prevention Bureau was a key component of this accomplishment. So I want to thank the Chief and our entire team for this outstanding milestone. Good job and congratulations. And I will end by saying today is my father's birthday, so I want to wish my dad, because I know he watches all the meetings, so I want to wish my dad a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
Okay. Okay, so this evening, we have a closed session item, and so do you want to read the legal notice, Mr. Flowers? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The council will now recess into closed session. There's one item on the closed session agenda. It's conference with real property negotiators. The property in question is 1055 Calimesa Boulevard. The city's negotiators are City Manager Will Cobal. The other negotiating parties are the Bank of America, National TR, and Savings Association. Under negotiation are the price and terms of acquisition of the property by the city.
Thank you so much. So thank you all for coming tonight. We will adjourn to the next regular meeting on November 3rd at 6 p.m. We appreciate you coming. We appreciate your comments. We do listen to you. And have a good evening and be safe. We'll see you at the activities coming up very shortly. Thank you.